Let's talk then about what the arrangements are as far as KZN churches which have been affected by these floods. We can speak today with Bishop Nathi Zondi from the True Vine Community Church, who's also a member of the KZN Christian Council. Bishop, a very good afternoon to you. We are grateful for your time today. Let's begin first, perhaps, with a sense of the extent to which the community with which you fellowship has been affected.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. I must say this has been a very difficult one, a massive devastation in a number of communities in our province. We also, as a church, also has had, in some of our congregations, had to deal with the number of families that have been, of course, affected by the floods. I must say that as the KZN Christian Council, because we work with the regional offices which are based in all the districts of the province, we must say that we are witnessing quite a serious disaster. It's quite a serious disaster, and we are needing all the help that we can get.
And have you been notified at all of any deaths?
Yes, I must say that the last number that we got was still being updated, but we had above 300 that were reported at the time. I must say also that on behalf of the KZN Christian Council, as well as the church leaders in the province, we are offering our condolences to all the families that have lost their loved ones at this time, and also our support to all the families that have lost their houses, their properties because of the floods. We are currently actively responding to this devastating damage and loss of property and life as a council in the province, working with a number of regional ecumenical bodies who are helping us, firstly, to collect data in all the districts and all the wards in the province, but also as we together respond by providing pastoral care and counseling to all the families that have lost their loved ones, and also those that have gone through the massive trauma that we are facing together. I must say also our response, we have tried to at least respond at 3 levels. Firstly, through our member churches who are present in all the areas that are affected. But secondly, through our regional council offices, which are also covering all the districts in the province. And the main one at the moment is responding to the needs that have really arisen. Because remember that a lot of families now are battling for food and for shelter. And so because of that, we are partnering with a number of Christian-based NGOs. We are working with the South African Red Cross. We're also working with the Domino Foundation, the Zoe Life, and City Hope, as well as provincial and local government, to provide a relief to the families.
And what does this disaster then mean for plans around Easter services? Will those go ahead?
Yes. What we have been encouraging our member churches to do was to try and make sure that in areas where it is safe to congregate, we still congregate. But in areas where caution has to be taken, they try and limit the number of sessions, especially in the evening gatherings. But what we are gathering across the provinces is that the Easter celebrations will go ahead. Here in eThekwini, for example, which is the area that has been affected the most, we are hosting in the city center a Easter service led by the Diaconal Council of Churches, which will start early in the morning around 6 o'clock at the City Hall. And we are inviting those who are able to make it, and we'll have a prayer, praying for the affected families, praying for the entire province, and praying also about this disaster. But remember also that prior to this, we are also facing the challenge around the issue around the undocumented immigrants. We are also going to be discussing that together during this Passover and this Easter service.
And Bishop Zondi, you used the word celebration in reference to what you have on your program for this coming weekend, but it's been a difficult time, hasn't it? 2 years where congregations were unable to meet because of the COVID-19 pandemic, at least not fully. Now, the third year where many people would have been able to meet, the service will no doubt be made more somber by just the loss of life and everything else that we've seen unfold this week.
Most certainly. The context within which this Easter service is taking place is marked by three major occurrences. The first one was COVID-19, if you recall. From 2020 March, we were, locked down because of the devastation by COVID-19. Many families lost their loved ones, livelihoods were lost and challenged at the same time. And then in July last year, you remember that there was also that July uprising, which devastated a number of communities in our province. And now these floods. So it's going to be a difficult one in the